Look, I know, I'm late. Everyone's already posted their videos on wuwa 2.0. I've had a lot of things going on in my personal life. That's a different discussion, but I'm making the video now because I really wanted to make it. My first impressions of Wuthering Waves. I literally still can't even say it. wuwa 2.0, the big update came out like a week ago. And well, I'm gonna just say it. They cooked. It is amazing. And look, I know I glazed this game up a lot. All my other videos on my like updates and my impressions of this patch and this patch. I always glaze the game and I still stand by that glazing. But for 2.0, I mean, how can you not? I wanted to make the video to give you guys my first impressions after beating the story and exploring Renacida, building Carlotta, checking out what's new in the update, to let you guys know how I'm feeling about it, and if you should download it and try it for yourself, whether you're a new player or you dropped it a long time ago. So right off the bat, I'm just gonna start with the story. It was incredible, from the characters to the voice acting. Oh my God, I'll get more into that, but the characters, the voice acting, the area, the plot, they cooked, man. It was cinema. And at the end of it, oh my God, one of the absolute coolest cutscenes I have pretty much ever seen in a gacha game. And the boss fights, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I was forgetting that I was playing technically a free-to-play mobile gacha game. Like seriously, it felt like I was playing a $60 or $70 AAA action game that I bought. Instead, I spent $300 to get Carlotta, but you know what I mean. It was incredible for gacha game standards. I was hooked from the beginning and I really wanted to see how it ended. And in the ending, I really am excited now for the new patches to see how it continues. There are a couple of slow parts in it, but for a gacha game, I feel like that's normal. There are going to be some parts where it's just like boring. You're just like, okay, this is going on for a little too long. But the story was filled with a lot of action. You know how gacha games where you go somewhere, you stand and you talk for like 40 minutes and it's just a yap fest, and then you walk and go somewhere else and then you repeat that, and then maybe one action sequence or two, and then story's done. Not this. I feel like it was well paced. It was paced more like a mixture of a gacha game and an action game, and I just really enjoyed my time with it. So yeah, they just knocked it out of the park. I don't want to spoil anything in this video for you guys, but it was awesome. And another thing I do want to mention though, I guess it's a con. This isn't really a pros and cons list, but I'm just gonna yap. But I saw on Twitter that a lot of people don't like how every character you meet falls in love with Rover. Yeah, well, you get that a little bit in this story with a certain character, but I won't go more into that. So if you're not a fan of that, well, buckle up because it's in there. But it's not like a deal breaker or anything. I just wanted to warn you about that. And so going off of the story, I really wanted to touch on the voice acting, because wow. I mean, first and foremost, they pulled the strings to get Shadowheart's voice actor from Baldur's Gate, one of the biggest games to ever come out. Jennifer English voices Carlotta, the new 5-star, and she does a phenomenal job. Now, I will be honest, I am a little biased because I love Shadowheart from Baldur's Gate and I romanced her, and I'm also romancing her again on my second playthrough of Baldur's Gate. I have a problem, okay? Look, Shadowheart mains rise up, all right? But all I can really hear is Shadowheart, but that's not a bad thing. I'm able to differentiate it, but besides the point, she does a very good job. I mean, she is just a really good voice actress and knocks it out of the park. But other than her, dude, everybody, all the characters that you meet in Renacida in 2.0, they just sound so good. And if they have an accent, the accents sound amazing too. Like, look, I'm not Italian or Greek or whatever. Like, I don't have those accents. I have an American accent, you know, because cheeseburger and French fries, but those accents sounded pretty realistic to me, especially Zani. It's just, I kept saying this in my stream. They really upped it with the voice acting and the dialects. Like, wow. It was really good, and I'm so happy to see that, especially from where we started in 1.0 to now. It's like a completely new game. The characters were believable, and you know, they just had emotion with their words. Like, it was just really good. No cringe dialogue or anything like that. So yeah, the voice acting, if you're into that or if that is a factor for you, they knocked it out of the park. No problems there. And I guess speaking about characters as well, the characters that you meet in 2.0, awesome. All of them are awesome. The one that I didn't really care for until I got to play as them in the story was Rochia, which is like the little jester girl. I never really cared for her. I was like, okay, she looks cool. But then once you get to meet her, and then play as her, I guess, spoiler alert, you get to play as her in the story. She's awesome. She's so fun to play. Her character is pretty funny. So I do like the character. Honestly, she's nothing too special character wise. Her personality does seem a little meh, but I think that's on purpose. At least I think it is. But I don't dislike her or anything. I ended up liking her a lot. But other than that, I mean, just every character that you meet, especially Zani, because you meet Zani early on, and oh man, she's just great. The voice and the design and her personality, they just really did a great job. I know people are gonna go in the comments of this video and be like, man, this guy's just glazing this game up. But like, dude, for real, I've been having so much fun this last week. I don't even have really anything bad to say about 2.0. But yeah, every character is interesting. The designs are really good. I think Carlotta might be the coolest looking design character in 2.0. There are a couple others that I won't spoil for you, but yeah, Carlotta, dude, just from head to toe, she just looks great. Everybody you meet, there's a vendor that you meet who sells you masks, and she's an invisible woman, but she still has like clothes on and a floating mask. Like, everyone seemed pretty unique, which is a small little detail that you don't really notice, but like subconsciously it adds on to like the world building. Maybe that's like a stretch or something, but that's how I see it. Like, the small little details subconsciously add on to just making the world grow. And I actually think that was a complaint for a lot of people of like the world building. It felt like it wasn't really present. And I think Kuro took that seriously and they try to up that for us. Another thing I really like about 2.0 is the music. I always thought the music was pretty good and had some bangers for some bosses and moments. But man, they really stepped it up. I think the theme of this video is, and maybe I'll even title the video this, Kuro stepped it up. Wuwa really stepped it up this time. And the music just went from here to like here, in my opinion. Like, there's one specific song, I'll play a little bit for you on this video. I'll probably get copyright struck for it, but here you go. Oh my God, this is such a banger of a song. Yeah, that song is a banger. I keep listening to it on repeat. But besides that, like, just the background music in Renacida and different areas, like, it's just really good. It really kind of like ties the vibe together. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people don't realize how important sound and music is in video games, but music can definitely make or break a moment. And it just felt like a banger. Like, it just felt like they chose the right music for every scenario in the story and in the areas that you go to. So I really have no complaints. I'm not a music theorist or musician or anything like that. So, I mean, if you are, maybe you have some beef with it. I don't know. But as a, casual player who just looks to these games to have fun, it was fine for me. Like, I loved it. And some of those songs were just a banger. Now, something that is a negative, just a little bit, is the PS5. So the game is finally out for all PS5 users, and so it's open to a wider audience, which is awesome, because it was for PC and mobile only, but now you get the PS5 players, and I'm really happy about that. I was a little skeptical because I was like, I wonder how it's going to be optimized for PS5, and I've been hearing different things, but I tested it out myself, and I even tested it out again this morning. It works 95% of the time. For the most part, it runs flawlessly. It looks beautiful, but I do get the occasional frame dips and frame stuttering. If you don't know what that is, like, it's like 60 FPS, and then it'll stutter a little bit, or it'll drop down to like 40 maybe, or 45, 50, and you'll notice it. Like, when you're fighting, like the frame rate kind of just jitters a little bit. Even if I'm just running around in the field, it'll do that. So I have noticed that. I don't feel like the problem is fixed yet, because literally I was playing it this morning on my PlayStation. I could use a little bit of tweaking, a little bit. It's not a huge deal breaker. Like, you can play it just fine, but that's something I wanted to mention to you guys. And I was testing it on my PS5 Pro. I don't know how it runs on a normal PS5, but it probably runs the same. But yeah, 95, maybe even 98%, it runs fine, except for like occasional stuttering, but that's probably something that they can fix very easily. Now, I'm not like a tech YouTuber or anything like that as well, but another thing I did notice with the PS5 version is that the draw distance is a little short. I'm hoping that they can maybe expand it a little bit. I will say, I feel like wuwa might be more demanding graphically than Genshin or Star Rail, right? I don't know. I'm not a game developer, but from the looks of it, I feel like it would be. And so the draw distance, meaning like how far you can see on like your graphics, right? Like past like 20 feet in game, things kind of get blurry a little bit. So I don't know. That's something I also noticed as well. Like a faraway tree would look in the background will look really blurry, but as you get closer, it gets more clear. So I don't know if that's something that it can fix, but other than that, it runs fine. So good job on them for finally being on PS5. Now more people can finally play this game and see how good it is. Now, another thing I wanted to go off of from that is, well, the environment and the new area, Renacida. Now, when they initially showed Renacida, I thought it looked cool, but I was a little skeptical. I was like, okay, it looks good, but I need to see more of it. And then they came out with a live stream, the dev live stream, and then they showed different areas of it. And I was like, oh, okay, you know what? It has some actually differentiating different, how do you even say that? They have different areas that look different from each other. Words. And when you, this is gonna sound so stupid, but when you see that on like a TV screen or like your computer screen, you're like, oh, okay, that looks cool. But once you actually play it and experience it yourself, then it's different. Because when I first got to Renacida and like you get to like the open world, kind of like Breath of the Wild style, it's just like everything opens up to you. My jaw dropped, bro. My jaw dropped. It is absolutely gorgeous. And all the different areas, there's one place that kind of looks like the archery from Elden Ring, where it's like a golden tree and like you see all these like petals of leaves just falling. Oh my God, it looks so good. And there's like other areas too that are like dark and misty, and they really upped it with a vibrancy as well, which I know a lot of people had also complained about. So they really, like, you know, fixed that, I guess. I don't feel like they really needed to fix that too much, but I'm glad they did. But yeah, it's gorgeous, man. Like exploring it has been so fun to do. There's just so many cool places to find. There's one like little town, spoiler alert, where you go to it and then at nighttime, the lampposts turn into like these Luigi's Mansion, Mario type Halloween things. And they make these weird like wah, 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 like noises. It's so weird, but I love it. You know what I mean? So like there's so many unique things to find. And speaking about exploration, I guess, oh my God, dude, I'm kind of starting to feel a little bit embarrassed that I'm just glazing the game up, but like one of my favorite things is the traversal. What they did with traversal, awesome. I'm going to be completely honest with you. When they had announced flying, I was like, flying? Really? Okay, how good is that going to be? Yeah, I was wrong. It's amazing. At first, it takes a little bit of getting used to controlling it, but just being able to run, jump, use your grapple, jump up, and then spread your wings and fly, and then you're just flying around. Unreal, bro. They did such a great job with it. It is so fun. It never gets old. And the sights that you can see, like, is gorgeous. At one point, I was flying up into the sky, and you can see like the sun setting, and there's like clouds. I was playing as Camellia, and then if you do her skill, you like have the ropes and the vines, you can just like sit there. I was just sitting there in the air, just like looking over all of Renacida. Gorgeous. Absolutely cinema gorgeous. It's so cool. The flying is awesome. Like it's actually addicting. Like you just want to keep flying around. They did a great job with it. And there's like even cool things too that you can like turn into different echoes for the exploration. And it just seems very fluid and natural to do. So yeah, they just knocked it out of the park with exploration and like the new area. I don't want to spoil too much for things that you can like find in it, but you'll be busy because it's huge, by the way. It's not like a small little thing. Like it's a big map, but man, like, yeah, I don't know. I'm glazing it up. I'm just really happy. Like it's just so good because I've always believed in wuwa, you know, since 1.0. I didn't think they would cook this hard. You know what I mean? With 2.0, I guess going off of that sentence, this is only 2.0, you know, like from 1.0 to 2.0, this drastic of a change and improvements, dude, I'm scared to see what they're gonna do for 3.0, like, and how they're just gonna keep going. I don't want to put too much pressure on it, like, oh, you got to be putting up bangers all the time. But like, I mean, they're really showing that they're listening to their community, adding and implementing things, which I'll talk about in a bit, like the quality of life stuff that they've added. But they're really like taking the feedback and then just trying to make a game that people enjoy playing. I've had a lot of people in my chat calling wuwa like a Genshin ripoff, or it's just copying Genshin. My take on that is I don't think it is. More than one game is allowed to exist in a genre, guys. Okay, I don't know why that's hard for people to like understand that. On stream, the analogies I gave were like, okay, so then a turkey sandwich and a ham sandwich cannot exist or coexist in the sandwich family because they're too similar, right? The ham sandwich copied the turkey sandwich, just changed a couple things. It just has ham on it versus turkey. Or, oh, the Honda Civic copied the Toyota Corolla. You know, like you can't, that Honda Civic is a clone of a Toyota Corolla, right? Like you just can't exist. That's not fair. Like that's the analogy I came up with. That makes sense in my head, right? But again, multiple things that are similar to each other can exist in the same genre. You see that literally everywhere. Windows and MacBook computers, shoes, like, I don't know. I love Genshin, obviously, that's my main content. But these devs on Kuro Games like really worked hard, and they made a game that I think can be a really good alternative to Genshin if you don't like Genshin, you know, and I think that's okay. Yeah, of course there's similarities to it, but I mean, you can argue that Genshin, you know, copies other games or copied other games, right? And you can keep going down the line of that, like, okay, then that game that copied this game and this game, like, guys, come on. Like, it's okay to have games that are similar to each other within the same genre. I don't think it's a Genshin ripoff. Yeah, of course, both are open world, anime-esque RPG gachas. One has a different combat system, different vibes, different story. So yeah, but like I said earlier, if you're not a fan of Genshin, or if you're bored of Genshin, or you want something different than Genshin, then you can try out wuwa, and you know, it'll offer you different things. And then vice versa as well. You know, it goes both ways. If you're tired of wuwa and you want to try Genshin or go back to Genshin, that's okay too. You know, I don't know. Peace and love, right? Just like let things coexist. But that's too much to ask for the gaming community, I guess. Anyway, that's my rant. I'm sorry, I keep ranting about it. But yeah, I don't even know why I went on that rant, by the way. I don't know, but whatever. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. Some of the quality of life updates that they added were that you can craft anywhere. So you don't have to go to like a specific crafting bench to craft things anymore. You can just craft and synthesize things wherever, which I think is awesome. Super handy. Like you never knew you needed it until you got it. And you're like, oh man, like this is awesome. Like I never want to go back to a crafting bench in my life. So that's a big W for me, especially if you build a lot of characters. Another quality of life thing that I think every gacha game should allow you to do is change the gender of your MC. So they added the opportunity for you to change from female to male and vice versa. Once you do change, it does take 24 hours for you to change again, but I think that's awesome. It gives the player the options to do what they want. I think Kuro Games knows that like you need to be able to balance like the immersion of a game, but also that it is a video game, right? And there should be features that are, you know, good for the player and feel good for the player, right? So I appreciate that they added this option. Of course, you don't need to use it if you don't want to, but it's there for you if you do want to use it, which I did do. I was like, you know what? I've been doing female rover this entire time. Let me change to male and see how I like it. And I will say, I think the voice acting was slightly better. So there you go. There's also an immersion mode where you can like get rid of your entire HUD system and it's just like a clean, you know, just like there's nothing on the screen other than the graphics of the game, right? Which Genshin already has that, but I like that they added it to wuwa. So you can take really nice photos or just like be fully immersed, or maybe do some fun challenges where like I tried playing wuwa without the HUD. I don't know, but it's there if you want it. For me, it's kind of tough to play like that. I'm a noob when it comes to playing like that, so not for me, but it is there if for people who do want that. I think it's a cool little feature. Another big quality of life update that they added was exploring and rewarding you for exploring more. The more you explore in the game, it'll reward you for that. And all you have to do is go to your map, top left, and you'll see that like by region, which I think also makes exploring a little bit easier to track as well. And you also get rewarded for it as well. So, I mean, that's a win-win. So maybe finally I'll actually get my exploration up. Maybe. When it comes to leveling your characters, they give you the option to fight bosses and do domains like in early access before you've unlocked them, which other games already do that as well, but it's a nice feature that they added. Or again, I know I'm saying that other games already do this as well, but those games have been out longer. This game is only just hitting 2.0. So bear with me when I say that. I'm not trying to compare the two. I'm just saying, you know, they finally added that and very early on in the game's lifespan. So that's very nice to see. So yeah, if you just got Carlotta, but you haven't finished the story and you want to level her, you can do so by, you know, early accessing, you know, certain boss fights and domains to build her. And it just makes building characters easier. So that's a win-win. And then another thing, they upped the level of your data bank to level 24. So when your data bank reaches level 21, the drop rate of 5-star echoes increases to 100%. So there you go, because they added a lot of new echoes to the new area for you to collect. So that was actually just pretty much natural for them to do. But I guess that does count as a quality of life thing. And I just wanted to mention it to you. There's a lot of other quality of life stuff. I'm not going to bore you with it. You can just Google it, you know, just Wuthering Waves, quality of life 2.0, and you'll see like a bunch of lists of stuff. But they definitely added a lot of things, but those are like the major ones that stood out to me the most. And then I wanted to hop in a game real quick and show you guys just all the new events and stuff that they've added for 2.0's launch. And there's a lot of things to do. Like this patch is jam-packed with like a shit ton of things to do, which is great. And obviously that's pretty normal for like a big 0.0 patch. But yeah, I wanted to show you just what is in the event tab, and in case you don't have the game downloaded, just to see what you have to do. Obviously, these will all give you rewards and stuff. But we got this one, although colors have no form. Looks like you'll enter like a painted world. This one actually just came out. And you'll get a talisman that transforms you into various echoes to help you out in battle. So that seems pretty fun. You got this new permanent event right here where you'll like collect stamps and stuff by exploring and doing different challenges and stuff like that. And you'll get rewards for it as well. Which I actually have a few to claim. So let me claim those real quick, maybe. But yeah, you can see that it gives you like level up stuff and other credits and just different rewards just for playing the game and exploring the new area and stuff like that. You got this one right here, which is like a photo event. I think we get a photo event pretty much every patch, but they're fun to do. And again, it's something to do and you get more rewards for it. And like I said earlier in the video, Renacida is so beautiful that I think you'll have a lot of fun with this one. And then we got another one, it's a combat simulation. So fighting and you get rewarded for it. And obviously they give us free pools just for logging in. It's 5 radiant and 5 lustrous, which is pretty standard. They do that every time. Oh, I forgot to mention this actually. We got a new Genshin skin and I wasn't gonna buy it originally because I think the skin is pretty, but like I like her original design more. But what made me buy it, other than the fact that I do use Genshin a lot, is that the skin is not just a skin. It also changes the ult and your skill animations by adding more to it. Like they change the color of the dragon, they add fireworks. And for me, that was enough to be like, okay, you know what? They went the extra mile, not just to make her look different, but also the animations to look different for her ult and stuff. I like that. I'm gonna give you my money. So that's what I did. So I think every gacha game should do that actually, where it doesn't just change the look of them, but also they get new animations or something like that as well. So loved it. I did buy that skin. So yeah, that was pretty cool. We also have a new companion story for Carlotta, which I have not done yet, but I hear is very good. So I don't know. I haven't done it myself, but from what people are saying, it was really good. And yeah, pretty much everything else is pretty much standard. But yeah, this 2.0 update is packed and it is cinema. And I know this entire video was just me glazing it. I mean, how can I not, man? I've been having so much fun with it and I've been enjoying almost every second of it. So I wanted to let you guys know my thoughts on it and whether or not it's worth downloading if you're a new player or a returning player. Because I've been getting that question a lot when I was like streaming it, which I always do whenever I stream something else other than Genshin. They're always like, is this game worth it? Is this game worth it? Which is a fair question. And I think you can already know what I'm going to say, which I always say in my other wuwa videos. But in my other wuwa videos, I have always said, yes, if it looks interesting to you, I think it's definitely worth getting and downloading and playing because I think it's a lot of fun. But more than ever for 2.0, it is definitely worth checking out. If it even looks a little bit interesting to you, download it. It's literally free to play. Just download it. I think they absolutely cooked with it. It is awesome. If you are bored of Genshin and you want to try something different, but kind of similar in a sense, try out wuwa. You might like it better. Or if you're a new player who's never even played a gacha game, this one's a really good one to try. And like I said earlier, the difference between 1.0, which I do feel like it kind of hurt the launch of this game, to 2.0 now, in this short amount of time, they knocked it out of the park. Like, for real. They really did. There are parts of me that wish the game had launched this way, but very rarely do games launch at like its peak. And that's the whole point of progression, right? And getting better during its lifespan. But to get this much better in this short amount of time, like, I still feel like wuwa should have won mobile game of the year. But yeah, they did an incredible job with 2.0. Let me know in the comments down below if you're playing wuwa and what you think of 2.0. I honestly have not been able to, like, going into this video, I was like, I really want to try to find some negatives that I have. And the only negatives I really had were PS5 performance is not 100% like amazing. It's good. Like, there's some, like, obviously frame drops. Some parts of the story were like a little too stretched out and a little boring. But other than that, man, like, there's really nothing to complain about. If you have any complaints, please put them down in the comments and I'll read them and I'll be like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Or, you know, like, oh, I didn't really see it that way. But if you have some like negatives and positives about the 2.0 update, let me know in the comments because I would love to hear you guys out. And if you're mad that I was glazing this game so much for this video, well, get over it because the 2.0 update is amazing and I stand by that. And no, this is not a sponsored video. So those are my true honest thoughts on the 2.0 update. It's definitely worth downloading. It's definitely worth playing more than ever. Now is the time to get into it. And I think they're only going to get better and better because they're showing that they're really listening and just trying to make the game better. You know what I mean? Like, it's just fun. That's the whole point. It's a video game. It's to have fun. Anyway, I'm yapping now. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about the video. Oh, and I forgot, if you want to catch me live while I play these games and where I make all my content pretty much, twitch.tv/Doro44. Where I stream Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. So link down below. Anyway, I'll let you guys go. Thank you for watching the video. Appreciate you. Peace and love.